If you are looking for an easy, hot, everyday work look, I got you because this is the exact look that we're doing today. Hi, I'm Nina Davalori. I'm a former Miss America. There's a lot for you to get into on this channel, but today is a beauty video, so we're gonna keep it quick because I have been doing this look on all of my Instagram and you have been going crazy for it, so I thought I would just do a really quick, easy tutorial because it is honestly very quick and easy. This is my go-to capsule everyday makeup look, and I just know that I can walk out the door using these same products every day and feel great. And that is part of building your capsule collection. So let's get right into it. I already moisturized my face. I used the Every Single Day Supergoop SPF. I love this. It's an SPF and moisturizer, and I use it every single day. But we're gonna get right into the makeup. So I'm gonna start with my brows. This is the Anastasia brow pencil, and I really love this one for every day because I feel like it just gives me like a little bit of that light coverage. Just nice and gentle. You don't need a lot of pressure. The less pressure you use, I feel like it gives you just that more natural look. And then I do a little bit in the front and I always comb it up because then it just blends really nicely and looks super natural, especially when it's like a broad daytime look. I'm not using any lights or anything. This is just the natural light because I feel like this is kind of like the best light to actually do your makeup in because you're going to know how you actually look like in daylight. Because I feel like if you use a beauty light, sometimes it looks one way, and I want you to be able to see what this actually looks like with just natural daylight. So yeah, brows are on. I am not kidding. This Patrick Ta foundation for every like daily use, that skin like glow, is truly perfect. It is shade 18. Golden Neutral is my shade. I probably don't even, I usually just do like the pumps on my um, cheeks because I feel like that's where most of my hyperpigmentation is. But like, I also just like to take a brush and just really like lightly take what I put on my cheeks and blend it up to everywhere because you don't need a lot of this stuff. We're just going to take it up. It is true what they say, less really is more in the makeup game. Make sure you get your neck because you want that nice and blended. I mean, can you see how glowy this is? Like, I just think it's so pretty. It really is like such a nice foundation. It just like gives you like skin-like finish, like truly skin-like finish. I could honestly just go out like this if I wanted, or if you wanted. A little bit of the Kosas concealer. This is in the shade 7.3N, and I have been using this for like 3 months now. I picked it up in like December and I love it. Like, it is really great for that everyday use and like everyday look that we're doing here. Like, I think it's, and I feel like it's actually made for every day where you don't even have to necessarily set it if you don't want to. I do because I feel like you should. But I think I went out without setting this for like dinner, which was maybe over the course of like 3.5, like 4 hours. Actually, no, maybe even 5 hours by the time I like left and got like fully home. And it honestly wore really well. I'm doing a little bit of my contour next. It's really just to like get the shape of your face. I start from my brow and then I just bring it down and kind of diffuse it down. So I always like connect it to my eyebrow and then I'll bring it into the crease and then I connect it down. And this just helps give it that definition. And then I take a little bit of the same brush from the concealer and I kind of wipe off the excess concealer and just give a little more shape and dimension to my nose. And I feel like this also just like blends the nose contour a little nicer. Blend out the side. I feel like since it's daytime, we really don't need a lot. For blush, I've been using this LYS shade in Elite, and I really love how pigmented this is. Like, it's a really, really pretty like pink, which like I feel like for a professional look, like when you're wearing like a blazer that's kind of like a little more like truly professional, it's always nice to just do a little bit softer makeup because it just like softens the look a little bit. So like just like this little hint of like pink, I feel like gives it automatically like a little softer, approachable look, which like sometimes I feel like when you're like full on like business, like formal business wear, I don't know, sometimes you can just like feel like you're a little unapproachable or look unapproachable. And like I always want to like have something where I feel like just like softens it a little. For me, that's what I prefer. I don't know. I feel like some people might call that feminine energy. Is that what that is? Like I just like having a little softer look. But I've always been that. Like I'm super girly girly. If you could not have guessed, like that's just been me since I was young. So yeah, that's where she is with that. Hold on, please hold. We got a package. Okay, we're back. Now I'm just going to set my under eye because I definitely want to. Like, if we're gonna do this for a full day, I recommend setting it. I always just tap, tap, tap into it a little. We only did a light layer, so you don't like hopefully need to take a bunch off and just like pat it lightly in. I spilt this all over me the other day. Tap off the excess, and then we can go into the other eye. I just do a tiny, tiny light layer. I like also going in down into a little bit of the nose here and the little smile line, just so we have a little extra coverage. And then as like a highlight to kind of set everything, I just take it and pat across where I think it should go. And then sometimes I will take this like where I contoured, like right below into here. And I feel like I do this because sometimes you'll get like your eyelids will get like a little oily, and this kind of like at least like takes away the oil without like having to put shadow on it. So it gives you like that matte finish. But Molly Sims actually taught me that like for that off-duty model look, they would always put like Vaseline on their eyelids to give that glow. Like you have just like no makeup, it's just skin. So the little trick is that they would put Vaseline on your eyelids. If you want that like model skin like glow, you can do that. So this is the Lancome. Which one is it? This is the Hypnos Drama. And I feel like this is one that's great for every day because it gives you that really fluttery, pretty lash where it's not like so, you can definitely build it up for volume. Like if you do the mascara trick that I do, I'm not doing that where I like comb over this like so dramatically because this is like an everyday look. So we don't need that today. It also depends on your eyelashes. So if you feel like you do need that, I would recommend doing it in general. But I want just like a really fluffy, fluttery lash. So I feel like this gives me that. We're doing like a teeny, teeny, tiny bit on the bottom, like barely anything because we don't want a lot here. I'm not going to do that heavy of a highlighter because again, we're going out in the world. We don't need a full beat. And then always a little bit in your inner corner, just like a little touch that you can see that I'm doing. And anything excess on the brush, I just put up on my brow bone, but I don't drag it all the way down because then it's gonna like drag your face down. You just want it on the high point. Makeup by Mario taught me that. Sometimes I have like a little fallout from the mascara, and what I do is I dip it in like a bronzer shade and I take the same brush that I used for my nose contour and I'll just flick it so I get like a little bit of color on the eyelid that's like natural. So it gives like a little tiny bit of depth, but like not a ton. And it's really just mostly to like flick off the excess mascara laying around. So you don't have to do that. I feel like even if you just use what's left over on the contour brush, it still works just as fine. I'm going to keep this little pink theme and I'm going to use the Patrick Ta lip pencil in, I don't know what shade this is. I'll link it below, so just trust me on that one. And I'm going to overline slightly underneath here. Gives it a little color. And then on top as well. And make sure you fill in the corners. I like this shade because it's not quite like a milk chocolate brown, which I usually use the Makeup by Mario for that color, but it's still like a neutral kind of lip color, but it still has like a little bit of mauve in it, which gives me that like a little more like pink color that I'm looking for. And then to fill in my lips, I use the Charlotte Tilbury. This is Pillow Talk Medium. Maybe I should also just put the lipstick on, huh? I bought this in the minis for Black Friday. Oh yeah, it's pretty. Oh, it's so pretty and so creamy. Love it. Like, do you see just like how that tiny bit of the Patrick Ta gave it like that dimension? Just like it's like just a little bit darker, and that's what's going to give you that dimension that looks natural where you're not like overlining. And if you want to go the extra mile, this is one of my favorite lip combos. This is the Lawless Gloss in Velvet. This is honestly the best gloss. It's called Forget the Filler. It feels so good on your lips and it doesn't sting, and it honestly gives you a nice plump. You don't need the filler. So I just put like a tiny bit in the center of my lips because that's what's going to give it that like little pop of dimension, because everything that's like the gloss will pop out and then like the matte side of the lipstick, which this is kind of a satin lipstick, will be more inwards. So that's kind of how that works. But yeah, I feel like this is just like the perfect balance of like having those like pink mauve tones just subtly come through where it's a little softer on your face, but you can still wear like a full-on blazer business suit and have that like more like fierce outfit. We're not allowed to say girl boss, so I'm not going to say girl boss, but I'm a millennial. So just like, I feel like when you have a very like business professional outfit, if you're wearing like a blazer like this or you're wearing a suit, I think it's really nice to just have a little bit of softer, natural, everyday makeup, because I think it just like highlights everything and pulls the whole look together because you have a little yin and yang balance, which is what I love to do and play with. So it's your professional business headshot look right here. Have a little fun with it, guys. Like, I feel like I see so many like business headshots and they have zero personality, and you're like, hello, I want to get to know you as a person. So I feel like, you know, you can do like a fun little posing of like do a little arm cross, hand under the chin, thinking. Those are my go-to poses. There's all kinds of fun that you can have with your business headshots. So let me know if you want like a full tutorial on that. Because I might have some tips. But okay, that's all I got for you. Let me know if you like this and let me know if it helped. I will see you next time. Bye.